When it comes to getting your gardens ready for the growing season, the current weather in April is not always an indicator of how your plants will grow in the coming weeks. Wheatfield nursery specialist Frank Barksdale says the last summer's record rainfall is the beginning to how plants start to bud during spring.
Coming off a very difficult summer where we had a lot of rain last year, and that really affected production. It affected everything because there was so much water.
Extreme weather conditions during the winter, along with late season temperature swings, tend to inflict stress to many plants that cause roots to heave or rise above the ground. Barksdale says that the soil is the most crucial component to a successful growing season.
Everything starts with the soil. That's it. In beginning and end, it's the soil.
Here in central Pennsylvania, the soil in the ground is usually a heavy clay, which is very poor for drainage, especially during soaking rains. This essentially prevents the roots in the ground to have enough air between the soil particles. As for what plants to actually garden this time of year, Dr. Eric Burkhart says it can be a tricky decision when heading out to the garden.
It's tricky to figure out in particular when to put out tender plants, and by tender I mean not all garden vegetables are the same, not all herbs are the same. Some things are more frost tolerant and some are more sensitive.
Some crops, such as onions and leeks, are set to plant in late January, with tomatoes during late March and squash and sunflowers during mid to late April. Now, the start of the growing season can vary just within a small distance. Two factors that play a big role in that is the amount of sunlight an area receives, also the elevation. Burkhart says the last frost is typically around May 20th. He says the best way to prevent harm to crops is to keep them in movable pots and take them indoors at the temperature nears 32 degrees. In State College, I'm Logan Westrope for the Center County Report.